How you doing,
Sorry,
buddy?
I'm on my phone, so it's our laptop is lacking.
Okay. So where are you located? Are you living somewhere close to Mark Roberts?
He's about a mile up the road.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
we're in
Well,
Chandler.
so do you share some of that championship football blood with him?
I'm still on the team. Yep,
Really?
yep. We were in the
Wow.
same class. Yeah, we were in the same class.
Well, that's awesome. What position did you play?
I was defensive end and offensive guard.
So you guys got to help each other out a little bit.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Right on, right on. Well, I've had a couple conversations with Mark over the last couple of days, and just recently, just about an hour ago, and he vouches for you. He says that you, me, and him sometime here in 2025 need to plan a camping trip together.
Sounds good.
So yeah, so we'll have to throw something like that together and see what we can come up with.
Okay.
So what I want to do, Mark, is I want to talk about is there a military base down there around Whitehall?
Yeah, right there at it.
Okay, so
Um,
I'm gonna pull it up on a
yeah,
map so that while we're talking
I've
about
got it right here.
do what?
I've got Google. I've got Google Maps open right now.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I've got it too. I've got it all the way set up for to pull it up on Whitehall.
Hmm.
Uh, but so what year did this happen in?
This actually happened in 2004. We
Okay,
were
so
there. We were there from May of 2003 to May of 2004.
okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the map up.
Okay. And I was looking, and there's been some buildings since. Oh, are you there?
Yep.
There it is.
Okay, so there's Whitehall.
Oh, you
Where's the
got it.
military installation?
Mhm. Well, it's just on the just to the east.
So over in here somewhere?
Yep. If you'll blow that up a little bit, you'll start seeing irregular lines going. I'm trying to see where you are. Okay, hold up right there. That's part of the military installation right there.
That unit there?
Mhm. And if you'll look, the Arkansas River is right there next to it. It boundaries. Yep, that's the Arkansas River right there.
So is this where your
Okay,
operations was taking place?
yeah. If you'll pan to the north, the other way, and come back to the west a little bit. Yeah, keep coming. You're getting into the area right there. Take your cursor over. If you'll see the center um, bunkers that has a road going all the way around them, you're just touching it. Blow it up just a little bit more. Keep going. Okay, now we're getting there. Whoa. I don't. Yeah.
Do you remember any of these lakes or ponds?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
So this is
Okay.
called the Pine Bluff uh, Chemical Arsenal. Okay, right there, be the top left of your screen. Right in there. That's the area we were guarding. If you'll bring that on down to the center, my sighting happened up on the northwest corner of it.
So up in here?
Yeah, keep going. There's 13 acres there that we were guarding. Okay, right there. You see that corner?
Yeah.
There's a gate there, and right inside, if you'll blow that up and come bring it down just a little bit, do you see? And I can't read your deals, but do you see the road names there?
Yeah.
There should be a
Romer,
Romer, and then right there should be um, trying to think
Har,
of it. Bond Road,
Hartle.
Bond and Romer. You're
uh,
you're
It,
just on
it's
the
put. I think it's Patrol Road.
There's a patrol road, and then that roamer, there's a gate right there, and
Yep.
that roamer runs to the east. And when you see Bond Road, it's a little bit to your right there. Right there should be Bond Road.
Yep. Right
Okay.
there.
Move your cursor down towards the area a little bit. Right there is where our bunker was. Right there in that corner.
Okay. All right. So you guys are right here at the corner of the Pine Bluff Arsenal,
Yep.
Bond Road. All right. So the year's 2004,
Yep. It's February.
and what was your role in this maneuver? Just
We
to
were not. Okay, so let me set you up. Inside that perimeter, it's a double fence, actually triple fence. You can't really tell it there. The private security ran that. They patrolled inside. We were giving support to the outside. They called it the BRIA, and it stood for, you know how military is. I
acronyms.
can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what it stood for, but um, basically, we were live loaded, full combat load, and nobody was to get to the fence. Basically,
So you were guarding the perimeter?
yes, all the way around that area, that BRIA, which is right to your right, where the fenced in area. It was right at 13 acres, and that was our sole mission for the whole year, was to guard this area.
So
We were
did you have people placed all the way around that 13
all the way
acres?
around. Yeah, we could see each deal. So over to the right there, where the corner is over on the right there. If you'll zoom in, you can still see part of the tower that was there. You can kind of see some wood structure.
Right here?
Yeah, right there in that corner. See
Okay.
that little triangle area there, right there.
Yeah.
That's part of a tower. I'm assuming all of that's gone now.
Yeah.
The
All
bunker's
right. So
gone. So,
yeah, even though you sent me a small written report of what you had,
right.
I'd like to hear it. First give me your full name, give me your rank and your years of deployment.
Okay. My name's Mark Whalen. I was in Oklahoma Army National Guard, and this deployment here was 2003, 2004, May 2003 to 2004.
All right, give us the lowdown, man. I'm excited
Okay.
about this one.
So I'm sorry about the map, but you see the small buildings there on Romer Road, the four buildings structured there?
Yeah.
Those were there. All that to the north there was not there.
Okay.
All that there. So basically, if you'll move your cursor down, kind of to the left, up high. Yeah, keep coming up a little bit. Just past those buildings there, probably really close to about where that corner of that road is, where that building is down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
Keep coming right. That corner there is, best I can tell, is about where the siding was. I'm sorry, the buildings, it's all changed, but that's 20
Yeah.
years too.
Do you have any idea what direction the creature may have come from or was
Yes,
heading?
he come in um, towards the gate. That will be to your left. That gate right there. He come in probably between that gate and that building, right in there somewhere.
So this didn't have a fence?
It no. In areas it wouldn't hold a cow in it.
Okay.
And in some places, this we had the 8 foot tall razor wire and everywhere else, but right there, it was just a barely a piece of a barbed wire fence.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pull out of the map so I can look at a
Okay.
bigger picture. I want to
Okay.
see what's a little north west of here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, all up in there.
Now this area, it's closed to civilians, so uh, the wildlife had figured out that this place was safe. There was massive amounts of deer. You name it, they were all over the place.
Okay. Give me a day or so leading up to the things that happened, starting with the smell that people were noticing.
Yeah, that was and I want to update. I think that we were smelling that a good week, maybe close to 2 weeks. Um, the first I was on day shift that time. We come out and relieve the guards, and they were saying, "Hey, something's going on, and we don't know what this smell is." And it had a skunky smell, but you could tell it wasn't skunk. It was real musty. But like I said, it had just a little bit of a skunk smell to it. Um, Trying to remember, we did a week of that, and we were in another area around to the right, and then we transferred over into night.
Do
And
you
I think
remember
it was about.
do you remember
Go ahead.
any specific when you were relieving guys on duty and taking over their position? Can you can I put the cursor where that station was where you said that they would report, "Hey, we smelled this stinky smell."
Yeah, that was if you'll follow around to the Romer Road down to the right, so it'd be on the east side. And there's barely, I see it now, there's barely a dirt trail there now. If you'll come down to the right, bottom right,
Bottom
see
right?
none of those. Yeah,
This way?
yep. Now come down and pan down some. See, none of those bunkers were there either. But see that dirt trail right there? Right
Over
there.
here?
Nope. Back up just a little bit right there.
Right
That
there?
was also, yeah, right, that little dirt trail that goes to the road. There was a
Yeah.
tower there also. And that's where we first relieved, and guys were saying, "Hey, something's going on. We feel like we're being watched." Um, just really crazy because we really hadn't had a whole lot of activity at all as far as people or whatever.
Is this
We
is
had a
this spot here? See where this is all the foliage is all brown? Is
Mhm.
that a holler?
No, it's pretty flat.
Okay.
I think it's just because the different trees,
Okay.
and there wasn't much foliage where we were. I think things have changed in 20 years, but
Oh, sure. Yeah.
yeah, each OP observation post was 300 to 400 yards away from the other. So we were all in eyesight of at least two other OPs when we were in one. Some were bunkers, some were towers.
All right. So you occasionally, when for the week or so prior, as you would change out stations and relieving guys from duty so that you could take over, they would report to you that they were smelling a stench in the area.
Exactly. A
All right.
stench, and felt like they were being watched.
Well, that's an interesting observation, also.
Yeah. Like I said,
So,
because we really hadn't had a whole lot of, the only time we had anybody in there was some people would sneak over there and put traps out and that sort of thing. Or we would have a civilian or somebody get turned around and come down that area, which, there's big signs, but they would still come down.
So
So
did you
we
have conversations with your buddies about it in depth, or was it just a briefing every time y'all would come and go?
just a briefing. There was one morning we pulled in, and one guy was coming out of the woods. He said, I thought we seen something. He said, but we never could really see what it was. And he went over there after daylight and was looking around.
Well, that's interesting.
But yeah, but it all happened within maybe a 2 week time frame. And then after the sighting and everything, it just went away. Like maybe moving through the area, or I don't know.
All right, well, let's get into the details of the night
Okay.
you saw what you saw on the thermal.
Okay. So if you'll go back to where I was on the Romer and Bond Road. Yeah, just blow that up a little bit more. Your cursor is about where the big guy was.
Nice.
So if you'll pan down just a little bit, if you'll notice the gate, there's big lights, street lights, and the area behind us in the Bria is also lit. So I had backlight, and then I had the lights from the gate. It's place to pull people over and search and all that. So right there where your cursor is, he was moving from left to right, uh, really slow and methodical. Um, that makes sense?
Yes.
It looked like he was stalking something just
And so
by the
you
way.
so you were in a tower over here.
It's a bunker. Yeah.
Okay, so you were in a bunker and you were looking through a thermal. When did you pick up a thermal? What did you see before you picked up a thermal?
Well, I could see movement. So our saw, the M60 or M49, had I wrote it down because I was afraid I'd forget it. Had the AN PVS4 night vision scope. So if you know anything about, well, you know some about it, but everything's green. You got lighter colors and darker colors.
Yeah.
But as soon as I seen it, I hollered at my buddy in there in the box with us. I said, Bert, I said, we got something. And I mean, he just stood straight up. I guess I probably scared him.
So
I was scared too.
I'm sorry to keep interjecting, but
No,
the
I'm fine.
the moment you saw it for a split second, do you assume that it's a person and
I thought
that
I thought person at first
did it
because
is
I could already tell it was bipedal.
would that be something that you could probably would you think that maybe a superior officer was testing your abilities, but they surely wouldn't test it with live ammo.
No, no, we not live ammo. They would not do that. That'd be silly.
Yeah, that's too dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. No, I knew
Okay.
we had something. I thought maybe a person who, had stumbled on, and this was about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And so I hollered at him, and as soon as I did, we had the 249 in a window, and it was already, the scope and everything was already mounted. So I just reached up there and turned it on and got it on the scope. And that's when I about pissed my pants, to tell you the truth.
Because you could tell it was
Like,
large.
oh yeah. I 70, 80 yards tops. And I watched it. The whole thing probably happened in about 20 to 30 seconds. I had the vision of it until then. Basically, when it got past that first little building, that's when I lost it.
So you're talking about this first building here.
Yep.
So so
That's when it went out of my line of sight. And it
so
was
it was going in.
traveling a little bit more to the top. But yeah, right in there really close.
These weren't here.
No, that was not there.
So it was just moving in this direction in thick woods.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And really, and you've been in pine, the undercut is pretty tall.
Yeah.
So he was, I say he, it might have been a she, I don't know. Um, very broad, very tall. Um, walked, I thought, with kind of a bent knee and leaned forward some, but every once in a while he was ducking underneath the tree. I don't know if I should say he or what, but I don't know. Tree limbs and that sort of thing. It's getting
Wow.
kind of uh, brings back a lot of memories.
Oh, I'll bet. I'll bet. So what was your buddy in the bunker doing at this point? Where y'all weren't able to watch at the same time, were you?
No, he was grabbing his helmet with it with night vision. We had him mounted on our I keep Kevlar's. He was grabbing that and turned his on, and he got to see about 5 seconds of it because I wasn't going to give up the scope. But
So
he
what did
did.
he
He
say the moment
shot.
he laid eyes on it? What did he say?
I believe it was holy shit. I believe I'd like to find him again. I haven't talked to him in years,
Well, that would be
but
interesting.
um computer stuff.
So where do you think it was going?
I
Just
I
towards the
don't
river?
know.
Towards the
Um
river?
it was heading towards the river. Like I said, that whole area is very non-populated with anything. And the deer were so thick in this place. I'm assuming he was probably hunting,
Yeah.
but never looked our way. Um, just like I said, really slowly and methodically was walking. And you know what it's like when you walk in that pine needles, you don't hardly make a noise, you
Yeah.
know. But I panned forward. I do remember this. I panned forward, seeing if I could see what he was after. Didn't see anything, and I come back to him. And the last sight I seen was he ducked underneath a tree limb and kind of went over a little knoll, and then that was it.
Then what was the conversation between you and your buddy?
We didn't say a whole lot to her for a little while. We were both kind of shaken. Um, we were talking about, well, we don't report this. Everybody think we're crazy if we did. Um, that's kind of the consensus we both had, was just kind of let it go. We told some of our friends, buddies, but we didn't report anything to higher ups or anything like that.
Boy, it sure would have been nice
Yep.
if some of your other military comrades there would have spoke up and had something happen that they were reluctant to say until you admitted you saw something, and then maybe they would.
Right. I had almost messaged the other tower over there that was to our uh, east, but I figured with those buildings where they were, I didn't figure they could get a look at it, and that was kind of an afterthought because you really don't go out there looking for Bigfoot. You're out there to
Right.
do a job. You're uh, you're pretty much locked in because we've already been there getting close to a year. This was February, so 2 more months and we were getting ready to leave. So we were pretty routine, as far as everything goes.
Well, I'm looking for patterns that I can rely on to be consistent. So, what were you guys doing for an hour or so before? Was there just total silence from your bunker? You guys weren't chit-chatting or anything?
Oh, I had just took a nap and I had just got up and we were talking. hour, we call in on the radio, everything's fine here and all that good stuff, just to check in and make sure we've got good commo. We had two sources of commo out there, so we were pretty good on that.
So was your bunkers
Um,
open walled, or were they was it closed
no,
in?
it was totally sandbagged in. I mean, it was like a pillbox.
So
It
it's
had an
not
empty.
necessary. It doesn't necessarily mean that even if you guys were chit chatting among yourself, that anything outside could hear you.
No, one you said something. It made me think. Before that happened, you've been in Arkansas. The tree frogs and the insects went totally silent. Everything just went totally silent. You could not hear a pin drop. And that's what kind of piqued my interest. It kind of made me set up. I'm thinking something's happening,
Wow.
but I wasn't sure what it was. I had three windows and I'm scanning each one, and then that's when I seen the motion.
All right,
Good
for all the
catch on that.
listeners
I
and
didn't even think about that.
the viewers, it was heading in this direction,
Yep.
which is all open. Probably hardly half of this stuff that you see now was there. Uh, and so it could have been coming from this huge, vast area over here,
Yeah.
and just all it would have to do is cross a couple of roads and be done with it.
And those roads at night are not busy at all. That's a really sleepy little place.
Wow. Well, I would like to throw in here for the listeners that I have a family uncle on uh, my cousin's side of the family. So it's on the married side. So it's not the same last name as mine. My name is, there's Little Rock right there. I've got a family members named Bryant who had a hunting lease down here, Hot Springs. There's Hot Springs right there. And I was always told that somewhere southeast of Hot Springs, my uncle sat in a tree stand with a buddy. It was a two-man tree stand, and they both watched what they first thought was a bear walking around on its hind feet, picking at the branches and eating leaves and taking. And they watched it for 10 or 15 minutes. And then when it turned, they noticed that it didn't have ears on top of the head and it never went down to all fours. So we that would not be too far away from Whitehall.
An hour's drive, maybe 40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, just depending on how far southeast he was, he could have been close to
Right.
Whitehall.
Right.
That's interesting. I like it. I like it. So now you want to see one again.
Yeah. Um, I've watched some other places. You stop recording?
Yeah. No, no, no. I didn't stop recording.
Okay.
I just took off the map. I think Mark was asking me if I'd stopped recording because he wanted to tell me how nervous talking about the incident made him feel. Because after we were done, he sent me a message. I sent him a message thanking him, and he told me that he was sweating from telling the story. So I'm sure at this moment, the reason he asked me if I was not recording, because I think he was going to tell me that. So I'm not trying to betray his uh, trust in me by sharing this, but he was nervous. And I think it's important to say that there's varying degrees of what seeing one of these things will do for you. Even in the memory of seeing one, uh, a lot of stress when it comes to seeing these things. So that's why I share this post so that people that also have seen one and feel stress about it can know that they're not alone.
I had big interest for a while, and I went to a few uh, seminars or whatever you want to call them, and wasn't impressed.
Me either.
Um, um, After Mark told me about you, I started watching some of your YouTube, and I really am impressed with what you're doing. You know,
Man,
you don't go out in the woods and cat call, and I really don't think that's the way to do it. I
no,
think what
no.
you're doing, I
That's
love the Japanese conversation.
yeah,
That's killer, I think.
that was brilliant. And I can't wait to use it again. I'm going to set it up with one of my log cameras, setting that, where, you saw the log camera where I can hide the
Yes,
camera in the log. I'm going to set that
yes,
outside of the tent now with that. So I've got all kinds of plans. But just like in your encounter, I'm more interested in why it felt okay to come in that close because of the silence and the quietness. And it's really just a game of chance. They're going to
yes,
come through the areas. And if you're there and you're quiet, but you've got good equipment, you'll have a better chance of catching them.
absolutely.
So, so I enjoyed it, and I really do enjoy the company of Mark Roberts. And we certainly don't get out as much as we can, given our lifestyles and our family lives and grandkids, and well, you know how that goes.
Oh
But
yeah,
we really should make more time because time is getting short. I'm almost 60, so who knows how much time we've got left. So I want to make sure that I do things that are important to me, and I enjoy going out with people, say like you, who have an interest in it that's pure. It's hard to find people that just have a pure interest in this.
right,
Most people have all kinds of ulterior motives to make money and all that other kind of
right,
stuff, and it just gets so old.
right.
So,
Well, me and Mark are 56 now, so yeah, we're not getting any younger either.
well, none of us are spring chickens, so
No,
that means we need to
no.
go ahead and make sure that 2025 could be our year. But I don't know if I even have any videos of my one technique. Remember, did you ever watch the video where I recorded that bluff charge up by Mount St. Helens?
I watched that today.
Okay, well, that technique of being in the vehicle with black blankets around, I've got my I've got my Explorer set up to where if guys like me, you and Mark go out and we don't want to work real hard, but we want to have good opportunities, we'll set my vehicle up with the black blankets and we'll put the headsets on and we'll just drive down logging roads and park and wait and see what happens. And that's a more enjoyable way to do it because we can chit chat while we're listening and sitting in the
Right,
vehicle, and then let them come to us. And
right.
so yeah, that'll be our plan, and we'll have to do something like that this year.
Sounds good to me.
And then we
I'll
can go
have
back and
to,
have some hot dogs.
yeah, I'll have to, I'll have to get my more gear. After I got out of the military, I always used my military sleeping bags and stuff like that. So I'm kind of shy on gear right now, but that ain't no big deal.
Yeah, all you need is a good cotton and sleeping bag, and we got
Yep.
everything. I got the coffee makers and everything else.
Heck yeah.
So
I
no,
am
that
a coffee lover.
well, then you'll fit right in. I like a little coffee with my cream.
Yeah. I don't do cream.
You don't do cream?
No.
You like it black?
Oh yeah.
Well, right on. You that
Strong.
more cream for me. All right. Well, Mark, man, I appreciate you so much. Giving me all these great details, especially the location. It ties into my family's history of having a sighting there. And and we're not too far from Falk. We're not too far from the Oklahoma border there on the west side, which is I've been there forever. So yeah, it's all basically the same area. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting this out there so everybody can see it. This will make some other military guys want to get a hold of me because there are other
Yep.
military guys. Did you get a chance to see the guy from Fort Lewis, Washington?
That one you released today,
No, no,
I
the
saw
one
it.
the
Oh,
the one it's quite a few videos back, but it was a friend of mine, and I think the title of the video is 1970 my friend's 1976 Bigfoot encounter from Fort Lewis, Washington.
I'll go check
that
it
was
out.
that was a military guy who was doing night maneuvers up up in Washington. It was he had an incredible sighting. He was the last guy in the platoon, and it was in the 70s, so they didn't have much equipment. They were doing some night maneuvers, and he was bringing up the rear, and he thought that a superior officer was testing their perimeter, so he ducked off to the side of the trail and hid while the rest of the platoon went on. And pretty soon here comes this Bigfoot down the trail that was following them.
Oh, mercy.
So you're gonna have to check that one out.
All right, I will. I will.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you and thank you so
Yeah,
much.